In the complex, often chaotic landscape of modern dating, the term soulmate can sometimes feel like a cinematic cliché, a concept reserved for silver screens and fairy-tale endings. However, there exists a more grounded, profound, and deeply human version of this connection that transcends simple infatuation. The concept of being someone's person. Being his person is not about a fleeting spark or the initial rush of butterflies that accompanies a new romance. Rather, it is about a rare and resilient alignment of two lives. It is the quiet realization that out of the billions of people on this planet, you have found the one individual who truly speaks the language of your soul. This connection is built on a foundation of radical honesty, unwavering support, and a level of comfort that allows you to shed the various masks you wear for the rest of the world. When you are his person, the relationship shifts from a series of social interactions into a sanctuary. It is a psychological home where you are fully known, including your flaws, your fears, and your unpolished edges. And yet, you are more loved for those very complexities than you are for your strengths. This bond is characterized by an invisible thread of security. You no longer have to perform, pretend, or protect yourself from judgment. Instead, there's a profound sense of being seen. This visibility is the greatest gift one human can give to another. The acknowledgement that your existence, in its purest and most authentic form, is not only accepted but deeply cherished. The journey to becoming his person is often a gradual unfolding. It is marked by the way he integrates you into the blueprint of his future, the way he listens to the things you don't say, and the way he stands as a consistent anchor during the inevitable storms of life. It is found in the little things, the remembered coffee orders, the shared silence that feels full rather than empty, and the instinctive way he protects your peace. This relationship doesn't just add to your life, it transforms the way you move through the world. Having a person means having a teammate who views your victories as his own and your struggles as a shared burden. It provides a secure base from which you can take risks, chase dreams, and face the unknown with a courage you might not possess alone. Ultimately, identifying the signs that you are his person is about recognizing a shift in priority and perspective. It is the transition from me to we without losing the essence of who you are as an individual. It is a partnership rooted in mutual respect, where boundaries are honored and growth is encouraged. As we explore the 15 definitive signs of this unique bond, it becomes clear that being his person is the highest form of intimacy. It is a commitment that says, I see all of you, I choose all of you, and I am building a world where you always belong. 1. Unfiltered authenticity. Authenticity is the cornerstone of any soul-deep connection. When you are his person, the masks that people usually wear in society, or even in casual dating, completely fall away. This isn't just about being comfortable. It's about a profound sense of psychological freedom. In a world where most people feel the pressure to perform, to look perfect, or to say the right thing, being with him feels like coming home. You don't have to curate your thoughts or edit your personality to fit a certain mold. This unfiltered authenticity means he sees the versions of you that the rest of the world doesn't. He sees you when you're grumpy, when you've failed at something, or when you're simply exhausted. Instead of feeling the need to hide these lesser versions of yourself, you feel safe sharing them. He creates a space where your quirks aren't just tolerated but are celebrated as the very things that make you you. On his end, he is equally transparent. He doesn't feel the need to maintain a tough guy persona or facade of constant success. He shares his insecurities, his weirdest thoughts, and his unpolished dreams. This level of raw honesty builds a bridge of trust that is nearly impossible to break. When both partners stop acting and start simply being, the relationship moves from a superficial encounter to a profound partnership. It is the quiet confidence of knowing that you are loved not for your highlights reel, but for the messy, beautiful, and authentic reality of your soul. 2. Active and deep listening. There is a significant difference between hearing someone speak and truly listening to what they are saying. When you are his person, he practices the art of deep, active listening. This means he isn't just waiting for his turn to talk or scrolling through his phone while you speak. He is fully present, absorbing your words, your tone, and even the things you leave unsaid. He listens to understand, not just to respond. Deep listening is a form of respect. It shows that he values your perspective and views your internal world as a landscape worth exploring. When you talk about your day, he remembers the names of the colleagues you mentioned. When you express a fear, he doesn't dismiss it with a cliché. He asks questions to understand the root of that anxiety. This creates a feedback loop of validation. You feel seen because he is paying attention to the nuances of your character. Furthermore, this listening extends to the silent communication. He can tell by the way you close the door or the specific pitch of your "I'm fine" that something is actually wrong. Because he has spent so much time truly listening to the rhythm of your personality, he becomes an expert in you. This level of attentiveness prevents misunderstandings and fosters an environment where you never have to scream to be heard. It's a quiet, steady acknowledgement that your voice is the most important one in his world. 3. Consistent reliability. In a world full of maybe and we'll see, consistent reliability is the ultimate green flag. Being his person means you are no longer playing guessing games about his intentions or his whereabouts. His actions align with his words with such regularity that you develop a sense of relational security. Reliability isn't just about showing up for dates on time. It's about being a steady anchor when the seas of life get rough. Consistency is the silent builder of trust. When he says he will handle something, you don't feel the need to double-check or worry that it will fall through the cracks. You can breathe easily knowing that he is a man of his word. This reliability covers the big things, like being there for a family emergency, and the small things, like picking up the groceries he promised to get. It removes the anxiety of the unknown from the relationship. Moreover, this reliability proves that you are a priority. A person who is inconsistent is usually someone who is only there when it is convenient for them. A person who is consistent is there because they have made a conscious choice to integrate you into the fabric of their life. You don't have to wonder which version of him you're going to get today. Whether he's had a great day or a stressful one, his commitment to you remains the one constant variable. This stability allows the relationship to flourish because you aren't wasting energy wondering if the floor is going to drop out from under you. 4. Emotional safety and vulnerability. Emotional safety is the invisible net that catches you when you take risks. When you are his person, you feel an overwhelming sense of safety in his presence. You aren't afraid that your emotions will be mocked, judged, or used against you later in an argument. This safety is what allows true vulnerability to grow. Vulnerability is the act of showing your soft underbelly, your fears, your past traumas, and your deepest shames, and having them met with compassion. When he is your person, he becomes your sanctuary. If you cry, he doesn't make you feel weak. He holds a space for you to process those feelings. If you express a radical dream, he doesn't shut it down with cold logic. He explores the possibility with you. This emotional safety goes both ways. He feels safe enough to let down his guard and show you his shadow side. He trusts you with his tears and his doubts, knowing that his masculinity or strength isn't tied to being an emotionless robot. This mutual vulnerability creates a bond that is far stronger than physical attraction or shared hobbies. It is a soul-to-soul connection. When you can be vulnerable, you can be healed. Many people carry old wounds from past relationships or childhood, and a partner who provides emotional safety acts as a catalyst for healing those wounds. You realize that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, and that realization is one of the most transformative experiences a human can have. 5. Inclusion in long-term plans. The transition from someone is dating to his person is marked by the shift from I to we when discussing the future. When a man sees you as his person, he doesn't just imagine you in his life next month. He sees you there in 5, 10, and 50 years. This inclusion isn't forced or grandstanding. It happens naturally in the way he speaks. He starts talking about future holidays, potential career moves, or even where he might want to live one day, and you are inherently part of that narrative. Inclusion in long-term plans shows a level of intentionality that is rare. He considers how his decisions will impact you and seeks your input because he views you as his partner in the truest sense of the word. You aren't an accessory to his life. You are a co-author of his future. Whether it's discussing financial goals, travel bucket lists, or family dynamics, he wants your fingerprints on the blueprint of his life. This long-term vision provides a profound sense of belonging. It signals that he isn't just passing time with you. He is investing in a life with you. It moves the relationship beyond the trial phase into the building phase. When a man includes you in his future, he is essentially saying that he cannot imagine a version of his best life that doesn't have you by his side. It's a quiet, powerful commitment that says, wherever I'm going, I want you to be there with me. 6. Mutual respect for boundaries. Respecting boundaries is often misunderstood as creating distance, but in a soul-level connection, it is actually the ultimate act of intimacy. When you are his person, he doesn't view your no or your need for space as a rejection. He views it as a vital part of your well-being. He understands that for a relationship to stay healthy, both individuals must remain whole. This means he respects your need for me time, your professional commitments, and your social life outside of the relationship without making you feel guilty or smothered. This respect manifests in the way he handles conflict and personal limits. He doesn't push you to share things before you are ready, nor does he invade your privacy to satisfy his own insecurities. Instead, he builds a foundation of trust where boundaries are seen as protective fences for the relationship's garden. By honoring your limits, he shows that he values your autonomy as much as your partnership. He understands that a person is a partner, not a possession. On your end, you feel a reciprocal desire to respect his world. This balance prevents the relationship from becoming codependent or toxic. There is a quiet confidence in knowing that you can both walk your individual paths while holding hands. When he respects your boundaries, he is essentially saying, I love the person you are independently, and I want to protect the space you need to keep being that person. It is this profound level of respect that allows a relationship to breathe and grow over decades rather than just months. 7. Prioritizing your happiness. While a relationship should always be a two-way street, a man who considers you his person will often go out of his way to ensure your world is a little brighter. This isn't about grand, cinematic gestures. It's about the daily, quiet choice to put your needs alongside, or sometimes even ahead of, his own. If you've had a grueling day at work, he's the one who takes over the chores so you can rest. If you have a dream you've been hesitant to pursue, he becomes your loudest cheerleader, pushing you toward your joy even if it requires a sacrifice on his part. Prioritizing your happiness means he is observant. He notices what makes you light up and what makes your shoulders drop in exhaustion. He doesn't just ask, what's wrong? He actively seeks ways to fix the friction in your life. Whether it's defending you in a difficult social situation or simply making sure your favorite snack is in the fridge after a long week, his actions consistently scream that your comfort is his priority. He understands that when you are happy, the unit of the relationship thrives. However, this isn't a one-sided servitude. It is a selfless devotion that stems from the fact that your pain feels like his pain, and your joy feels like his triumph. He doesn't keep a scorecard of the nice things he does for you because your smile is a sufficient reward. When a man prioritizes your happiness, he is signaling that you are not just a part of his life, you are the heart of it. He is invested in the quality of your existence, making him a true partner in every sense of the word. 8. Remembering the little things. The little things are actually the big things in disguise. When you are his person, he possesses a mental library of the tiny details that others might overlook. He remembers how you like your coffee, the specific name of your childhood pet, the date of an important meeting you're nervous about, or the fact that you hate a certain texture of fabric. This level of detail-oriented memory is a direct result of the deep listening mentioned earlier. It is proof that he is paying attention to the blueprint of your soul. Remembering these details is a way of saying I see you without using words. It creates a sense of being known that is incredibly rare in a fast-paced world. When he surprises you with a specific book you mentioned months ago or avoids a topic he knows is a trigger for you, he is demonstrating that he has studied you. You aren't just another person he is dating. You are a subject he has mastered because he finds you endlessly fascinating. These small acts of remembrance act as emotional deposits, in your relationship bank account. They build a cushion of affection that helps you navigate the harder times. It feels wonderful to be with someone who doesn't need to be reminded of your preferences or your history. This consistency in the small things builds a massive amount of trust over time. It proves that even when life gets busy or chaotic, the details of your life remain at the forefront of his mind. 9. Support through hardships. It is easy to be a great partner when the sun is shining and everything is going well. But the true test of being someone's person is how they show up during the storms. When you hit a rough patch, whether it's a health crisis, a career setback, or a family tragedy, he doesn't pull away or become uncomfortable with your grief. Instead, he leans in. He becomes the person you don't have to perform for. You can be at your absolute lowest, and he will still be right there, holding your hand. Support through hardship is about being a calm in the storm. He doesn't necessarily have to have all the answers or know how to fix the situation, but his presence is unwavering. He becomes your emotional backbone when you feel like you're falling apart. He handles the logistics of life when you can't, and he listens to your fears without trying to logic them away. This level of support creates a bond that is forged in fire. When you go through a dark time together and come out the other side, the relationship changes. It moves from romance to partnership. You realize that he isn't just there for the highlights. He is there for the whole journey. Knowing that you have someone who will stand in the trenches with you gives you a sense of courage you wouldn't have on your own. It is the ultimate confirmation that he is your person, the one who stays when everyone else might find it too difficult to handle. 10. Genuine pride in your achievements. In many relationships, there can be a subtle, underlying sense of competition or even jealousy when one partner succeeds. However, when you are his person, your wins are his wins. There is zero room for ego when you achieve something great. Whether you got a promotion, finished a marathon, or finally mastered a hobby, he is the first person to brag about you to his friends and family. He doesn't feel diminished by your light. He wants to help you shine even brighter. This genuine pride is visible in the way he looks at you when you're talking about your successes. There is a sparkle in his eyes and a sincerity in his praise that can't be faked. He recognizes the hard work you've put in and acknowledges your talent. He doesn't try to take credit for your success, nor does he try to one-up you with his own stories. He creates a space where you are allowed to be big and successful without worrying about bruising his ego. Having a partner who is genuinely proud of you is incredibly empowering. It allows you to take bigger risks in life because you know you have a solid home base of support. He becomes your hype man, reminding you of your worth when you start to doubt yourself. This celebration of your identity and your capabilities is a hallmark of a healthy, long-term bond. It shows that he loves you not just for how you make him feel, but for the incredible individual you are becoming. 11. Effortless communication. When you are his person, communication stops feeling like a minefield and starts feeling like a bridge. You don't have to spend hours analyzing a text message or rehearsing how to bring up a difficult topic because there is an underlying foundation of safety. Even the most uncomfortable conversations about finances, future fears, or hurt feelings happen with a sense of we are on the same team. You can speak your truth without the fear that he will shut down or walk away. Effortless communication isn't just about talking. It's about the comfortable silences, too. You can sit in a car for hours or share a meal without saying a word, yet feel completely connected. There is no pressure to fill the air, because your presence alone is enough. When you do speak, there is a shorthand, a language of inside jokes, shared glances, and intuitive understanding that only the two of you possess. He listens to your tone as much as your words, often knowing what you need before you even finish your sentence. This flow prevents the bottling up of emotions that destroys most relationships. Because the lines are always open, issues are resolved as they arise rather than festering into resentment. He encourages you to use your voice, and he uses his own with honesty and kindness. This transparency ensures that there are no hidden rooms in your relationship. You both operate with a level of clarity that makes the complexities of life much easier to navigate together. 12. Integration into his inner circle. A man's inner circle, his family, his closest friends, and his mentors, is a sacred space. When he considers you his person, he doesn't just introduce you to these people. He integrates you into his world. You aren't just the girlfriend who tags along. You become a staple at family dinners, a name mentioned in every group chat, and a person his friends genuinely respect. He takes pride in showing you off because he views you as his greatest win. This integration is a sign of deep commitment. By bringing you into his private world, he is giving you the keys to his history and his support system. He wants his parents to love you and his best friends to know your story. If there is a conflict between his circle and you, he stands by your side, ensuring that you feel protected and welcomed. He doesn't keep his social life and his love life in separate boxes. He wants them to merge because he can't imagine his daily life without you in it. Furthermore, he starts to adopt your inner circle as his own. He makes an effort with your siblings, remembers your best friend's birthday, and shows up for your family events with genuine enthusiasm. This merging of worlds creates a sense of community around your relationship. It provides a village of support that reinforces your bond. When you are integrated into his circle, it's a clear signal that he sees you as a permanent fixture in his life, not a temporary guest. 13. Shared values and vision. While opposites can certainly attract, persons usually share a core set of values that act as a compass for their lives. When you are his person, you find that your fundamental beliefs about money, family, morality, and lifestyle are in alignment. You don't have to argue about the big things because you are both rowing the boat in the same direction. Even if your hobbies differ, your vision for what a good life looks like is remarkably similar. This shared vision makes decision-making much simpler. Whether you're deciding where to live, how to handle a career change, or how to raise a family, you are operating from the same playbook. He values your input on these major life choices because he views your future as a joint venture. There is a sense of synergy, the idea that you are both better and more effective together than you ever were apart. He doesn't see your goals as competing with his. He sees them as complementary. Beyond just planning, this shared vision provides a deep sense of peace. You don't have to worry that 10 years down the line, he will suddenly want a completely different life than the one you've built. You are building on a foundation of solid rock rather than shifting sand. This alignment allows you to dream bigger because you know your partner is standing right next to you, looking at the same horizon with the same level of excitement and dedication. 14. Unconditional acceptance. We all have flaws, baggage, and parts of our personality that we find difficult to love. But when you are his person, he accepts you, not in spite of those flaws, but often including them. This is the warts and all kind of love. He doesn't look at you as a project that needs fixing or a person who would be perfect if only you changed a few things. He sees the totality of who you are and decides, every single day, that you are exactly who he wants. Unconditional acceptance provides a level of psychological relief that is life-changing. You can stop performing and start growing. Because you aren't afraid of being judged for your mistakes, you actually become a better version of yourself. He provides the secure base from which you can explore the world. If you fail, he is there to help you dust yourself off without a single "I told you so." His love isn't a reward for good behavior. It is a constant state of being. On the flip side, he expects the same from you. This mutual acceptance creates an environment where both partners can be their messiest, truest selves. It's the comfort of knowing that even on your worst day, when you are least lovable, he is the person who will love you the most. This doesn't mean he ignores toxic behavior, but it means he loves the human behind the struggle. It is the ultimate form of emotional intimacy, to be fully known and yet fully loved. 15. Instinctive protective nature. This isn't about possessiveness or jealousy, which are rooted in insecurity. Instead, an instinctive protective nature is rooted in deep care and value. When you are his person, he is naturally attuned to your safety and well-being, physical, emotional, and mental. If you're walking home late, he's the one checking your location or waiting for the "I'm home" text. If someone is being disrespectful to you, he is the first one to stand up in your defense, often before you even realize you need it. This protectiveness extends to your peace of mind. He protects your time by helping you say no to things that drain you. He protects your heart by being careful with his words during an argument. He treats your heart like a priceless heirloom that has been placed in his care. You never feel expendable or like an afterthought. You feel like his most precious priority. It is a quiet, masculine energy that says, as long as I am around, you will be okay. This sense of protection creates a deep sense of home in the relationship. You feel a level of security that allows you to be vulnerable and soft. You know that he has your back in every room you enter, whether he is physically there or not. This isn't because he thinks you are weak, he knows you are strong, but because he values you so much that he cannot bear to see you harmed. It is the final, definitive sign that you aren't just a partner. You are his person, and he will cherish that role for a lifetime.